Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna be talking about crew skills. As you can see, the title of this video is like the biggest mistake that the new players can do. Mind you that this video might not be like relevant in the future once the crew rework comes to light. I'm not really sure when that is gonna happen, but for now, like if you're starting out in World of Tanks, especially for you guys who are like free to play, which this video is all about, you may want to stay for a couple of minutes so you understand from a strictly free to play perspective. So I have over like 45 or so days in this game, and by far this was been like my biggest issue with the game so far when it comes to like progression wise. Why skills? We're gonna talk about that in a second, but let me just show you something. Like, this is the reason, like the whole reason why this is gonna be a big issue is like, if you don't follow my advice right now, this is gonna happen to you. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be like a mistake, but it's gonna cost you a lot of time. So this is a wrong screen though. Let's go into my service record for a second. Alright, I have 791 battles played. Took me around like 650, 700 battles to actually get my first skill, which we're gonna talk in a second because it's very, very important. Anyhow, oh, by the way, high caliber, tank sniper. These rewards I got today, and they're goddamn beautiful, man. My first, it was beautiful. But yeah, that's not what this video is about. So let's get back. So, crew skills. What do we know? So, crew skills, basically, they level up. The more XP you get, more crew skills you get, like a more crew XP you get. I talked about it in a previous video. Like, it's gonna take a long time, especially like when you have like to. So this one, for example, it's at 100%. So he's leveled up. Now I'm leveling up his brothers in arms skill. So let's go up to here. Let's see training. So not training here. So he needs 12,000 XP. And well, this is not just to learn the skill, this is just to get 1%. So like we are talking about like to get from 90 to 91, we need 12,000 more XP. So yeah, like this is the second skill, so it costs more than the previous one. But like let's go with something. Do I have anything like lower level? So yeah, like your basic the way when you start up, your garage is basically full. Like you don't really have like too many vacant slots. So what is gonna happen? You're gonna start like selling all this, especially like tier 1, since they are basically free. So you're gonna be selling those vehicles, okay? But as a new player like me, what I did, a mistake, was all the crew skills that you get, they are like 100%, okay? So that stands. What I didn't know is like I was basically just getting rid of all the crew, was throwing it into barracks. One of them I wasn't even throwing into barracks. So like they are all leveled up to 100%. But when you buy a new tank, so let's take example, do I have any tank? Let's buy something cheap ass like this guy. So yeah, this is the menu, I don't need to buy it, so perfect. You see here, like purchase without crew, this is very important. Once you start a new tank, so you have this like rapid courses, regiment school. Obviously first time I played, like I was putting all those crewmen in a barracks. They were for very different tanks, so like I was buying I think mediums or heavies at that time. So I was just like selling stuff into barracks. And if you press this one, 75%, so you're gonna get a new crew up to 75%. Like as I said, free-to-play player, so this one does not, like this is not that interests us. So each new tank needs like a specific number of crew, like up to 2 to 6. I don't know like how much is the maximum. So yeah, like what you can do and what you should do is one thing that I didn't do, and like I regretted it for a very long time. As you said, like as you saw, like 700 matches. I basically bought like up to tier 5, I think. I kept buying new crew, like constantly. I would buy a new tank, I would buy a new crew at 75%, then I would have to level them. And by the time like I leveled them to like 90s, I would buy another tank, then I would like go buy another crew. It got absolutely... It got very stupid. It got very stupid because I was basically resetting my progress all the time, because whenever you put like the new crew in, you leveled it up, then you have to do it again on the new one. So you basically waste a bunch of time since you are not using the same crew. And that's the main issue. You need to use the same crew. So how can you do that? So let's take, for example, you are playing your tier 3 BT5. So if you go into the research here, research 3, so you're doing that one. So let's say that you're gonna go for the next tank. So next tank in a line, it's this medium tank. You buy this one, it's gonna ask you, do you want a new crew? What do you want to do? What you should do, like, don't be me. That's the first thing. The second thing is basically just buy the tank without the crew. That checkmark that we saw earlier, buy the tank without the crew. And what you do is basically get rid of the crew for that specific tank. So you take this one, for example, like all these, as you can see, they're 100%. So they're trained with this tank specifically. Oh yeah, right click, send to barracks. This is the only thing that you need to do. So with all of them, like once you're done with that tank, that is what you should do. But I'm gonna give you like one advice first, which I also like didn't know until much later, which I realized that would have been probably the better like way to do this. So yeah, okay, this one for example, same thing. So when we go into the research tree, so as you can see here, like this one is fully developed, which means that since we bought the next one, like we bought all the parts, it's basically became a premium vehicle. So with this one, escape, this check mark over here, accelerate crew training. I'm gonna come back to like crew skills, but this is a very good tip for the new players, which honestly I regret not doing it myself. So you can basically spend all the experience earned on this vehicle on crew training. So you can basically double the XP. So you know when you like fight with your vehicle, you get that XP here, so you can like research new parts. Now you can use that same XP to basically, so if you get like 500 in a match, you would get basically 1000 for your crewman, just because like your vehicle is already researched, like you have nothing researched on it. So you can pull that XP basically into more crew to like speed up the process. For me, since I was constantly buying new crew, like I was not getting anywhere, like none of my skills were even leveling up. And this is my basically like my main crew right now. Okay, this one is like you get this one from like the missions that you can do once you get your first tanks. I don't know which tier did we start with, like 2 or 3. Like I would need to go to my old video footage just to see to remember that. But yeah, like all of them we're gonna start with 100%. So when you take those experienced crewmen, once you get that crew up to 100%, like they are already at 100%, which means that they are already like earning XP towards your first skill. Your first skill should always, and I mean always, be Sixth Sense. Until the crew rework, this is literally the only thing that is gonna help you learn the game more. Like because this is gonna, small light bulb is gonna pop on your screen. You're gonna then you're gonna realize that you have been spotted. This is especially important when you're playing like a squishy tanks, like not a heavies, when you play like a tank destroyer or some medium who is super squishy, light tanks and stuff like that. So it's very important. That skill is just gonna help you overall just learn the game, and that's why, because it took me over 600, like 650, 700 matches, I don't even know, man, to get it. And once I did get it, my survival rate went drastically up, my damage went up, because I was much more engaged. I strictly play like this is a tank destroyer, so like these guys are basically made like, as skill would say, bushwankers. I sit in the back, I'm just chilling in the back on the red lines and just snipe stuff. That is this tank's main thing. We can like, we can't really turn that fast, but we can damage real good. But think about it, like my concealment is through the roof, like 897, so I can comfortably sit in the back and shoot from without getting spotted. But sometimes you do get spotted, and that time when my Sixth Sense kicked in after I got it, it saved me so many times, because without it I would just keep shooting. Doesn't matter, like I would think that I'm safe, but I was not at some certain like situations, because like there is all these calculations about like concealment, the way that it works. Like once you start like learning the basics of the game, it's fine. Like you don't need to, like me, like I don't need like math. Who does math? Numbers, like they don't mean a lot. Like I understand the general way, like when I'm supposed to, like when I might be spotted, when I'm not gonna be spotted. So I'm not going like too deep into numbers. But like as I said, when you have the sixth sense, you have that luxury of 1 second after you're already spotted that you can pretty much react and get your ass out of there, like, if they're trying to like shoot your ass. So yeah. And one thing about the UDES, this thing, it goes super fast when it goes into reverse, so top that with sixth sense, beautiful. Like, it saved me a lot of time and a lot of deaths, coincidentally, so you get more XP because like you survive more. But yeah, once you start the game, the main important thing is like choose your crew skills. Like when it comes to like which crew skills to take, there is a lot of guides that you can check on YouTube everywhere, so like I'm not gonna go into that, but like choose one skill, but sixth sense definitely should be your first. Like Brother in Arms is pretty much also mandatory. Those two skills are like always gonna be like useful no matter what tank. So and keep putting that same crew, like once you get the new tank, so from tier 3 to tier 4, dismiss the crew and get it to the new tank, like put it into barracks, get it to barracks and retrain it. So the way that it works, so if you are using the same line, let's go for example like here, let's actually take 3. So if you are going for like, for example, for the heavy line, so if you take the same crew and put it on the next tank, what is gonna happen? Like you saw what was happening with when I was just like trying to level new crew. It says 75%. So if you take the same crew, which is already like 100%, into new tank, instead of 75, they're gonna be at around 90%. Yeah, pretty sure it's like 90% for, like, you're gonna have to pay money for it, so it's gonna get a bit more expensive at the beginning since you won't be earning as much, but credit starts rolling slowly. Like, I'm gonna make a video about like my experience, like after a month of playing strictly free to play. It's not as bad. Like, everything that is a problem is more problem of the game. It's not about like being a free to play player. But yeah, so like it's gonna be 90%. So every new tank, you won't really need that much XP to get him, like to get them to where you want them. But first, since you always start, like all the crew that you get with these tanks, the beginning, like they're really good. They're already maxed out like on the basics, so you can already start learning first skill immediately. As soon as you like start the first match, you can already start playing it. So yeah, take that first crew, and I would suggest, like, if you get the tank like fully developed, stick with it, play with it a bit until you get the actual sixth sense. So once you get the sixth sense and like all first set of skills, they all like level up at the same time. Once you get sixth sense, since yeah, like you will get the double XP since you are using the tank that is fully researched. Like you don't need to go for the like full 100%, but I would suggest to like start farming that stuff sooner rather than later, the way that I did it, because it took me 600 matches since I was constantly getting new tanks and I was like copying constantly. So like you can't level up a skill if your crew is not 100%, but since like when you like transfer it to another tank, it's 90%, which means that those 10% needs to be grinded out again every time. It's not 25%, it's 10%, but it still takes a long time since like last 10% is basically like same amount of XP as like the 90 that you had before that. So yeah, it takes time. So if you want to like get sixth sense and all that done sooner, so it's probably better like to farm on the vehicles that are gonna give you like double XP at the beginning, or like a premium stuff on like a premium tanks that we had. So that is pretty much what this video is about. I wasted so many battles. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten it half the time. Not 600, but maybe 300, like maybe even less, if I was more efficient about it. So what did we learn? For the new players, big thing. Skills, so crew skills. You start with the basic tier 2 tank. Take the same crew if it's the same line. So the only thing that you need to like do is this. We have like this guy. Obviously he's not trained for this tank, he's a tank destroyer and he's in like a light tank. So you open the personnel file, so you go to training, you select the current vehicle, and you put the regiment school, this one, the middle one, which costs silver and not the gold one. Gold one is basically like making you like 100% all the time, if you want to like tank hop a lot. But this is a free-to-play account, and I'm talking for the free-to-play players. So you don't take the rapid courses, you take the regiment. It's gonna be 90% if it's the same. If you're talking about the same lines, what I mentioned previously, it's gonna be 90% always. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, like if the tree diverges into, for example, here tech 3, like this is a medium tank and this is tank destroyer, so this one is a light tank, so will the crew like be at 90% when you like choose between these two? I'm not really sure, but overall, like if you're like going for the same line, just hopping the crew from one to another, it's always gonna be at 90%. It's always gonna be 90%, so it's gonna cut your time like dramatically. It's gonna save you a lot of... this one doesn't really like matter all that much later once you start getting more crew skills. And as I said, like doing missions, especially like this one, the first one that I just finished for the tank destroyers, this 15 missions, I got my first like a female crew member. She starts with like Brothers in Arms perk, and it has one perk already like at 100%, so you can choose whatever. You can choose whichever vehicle, or whichever like whichever position on a tank she would take. So it's they're pretty good. So in that regard, you can use that one to further boost whatever you want to boost. But yeah, focus on the same crew. Don't do what I did, because I was just dismissing like crew at the beginning, like willy-nilly. I didn't really thought the process, because like the game didn't really say anything. Like they mentioned there was skills, they mentioned there was things, but yeah, there was nothing made. So hopefully you guys found this video useful, because as I said, like this is something that is just gonna save you time. Obviously, like you can do it like I did, but it's gonna be like much worse experience, because having that one skill, Sixth Sense, was a game changer for me. So guys, don't do the same mistake. If you do like the game, 300 games is much faster than 600 or 700, whatever. Like I don't want to even know exactly, because I get bit angry. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I get bit angry because I wasted too much time. This one is not explained anywhere, man. The video won't. The video will help you now, but as soon as the crew 2.0 rolls into the page, like that page should fix, especially for the new players. It's gonna help them a lot with like that starting skills. But until then, hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. For now, Crow signing out. Salute and bye!